Hello, and welcome back to Am I the Patient? This is the podcast where we unpack the messy, the complicated, and the sometimes hilarious side of mental health, therapy, and how to be a functioning human being. I'm your host, Miss J, and today, OMG, I had to do this bonus episode because my friend, hold on, I'm going to tell you how I came onto this story. You already know what it's about because of the title. But yeah, we got to get into this TikTok therapy mess. Like this, obviously I had to do an episode on of Miss Kendra. Child, she talking about she fell in love with her psychiatrist. So my goodness. Anyway, so before you roll your eyes and be like, "Ooh, that's just transference." You know what? Just hear me out, y'all. Just hear me out. Stay tuned. Raw conversations, real feelings, and no copay. This is Am I the Patient? Okay, y'all. The story of Miss Kendra Hilty. Child. Ugh. My goodness. Let me preface this with what my friend sent me because I had no idea about this. And I'm on TikTok. Y'all know I've talked about me. Well, I have talked about it. I don't think that episode came out yet of me being on TikTok, but I don't know how these episodes are going to come out. Anyway, I digress. So, my friend reached out to me and she was like, I'm reading these texts verbatim, by the way. She says, I want to ask your opinion on something I stumbled upon on the internet that involves mental health, patient interactions, and the possibility of transference. So Miss J goes, sure, go for it. She says, have you heard of TikTok lady with psychiatry story? I go, no, I've never heard of it. She goes, oh dear, it's a wild one. And then she proceeds to ask me, so how would you react? What would you do? And what would you do if a client of yours tells you that he or she has feelings for you? I then say, I guess it would be something I would need to process with that client if they want it, as long as it isn't inappropriate. She goes on to say, I meant like romantic feelings, bordering obsession. I was like, well, depending on how obsessive, obviously I would discontinue with the client, but if it's super obsessive, I would probably get the authorities involved. Cause I like, how are we talking? Obsessive, like they showing up at my house, they're waiting for me when I get out of work, whatever. So, mind you, I still didn't know what she was, the story that she was talking about. And then she goes into it. Okay, she's like, okay, because this lady Kendra is in love with her psychiatrist, and according to her, he's leading her on. And from the emails that she provided, the psychiatrist didn't really do much to enforce boundaries. Oh, so I'm going to put a pause right there because we're going to come back to these text messages just to show you how I, as a therapist, responded to my friend who just wanted my opinion. So, okay. So now y'all know we're talking about Miss Kendra Hilty. So, she's a ADHD coach, yoga teacher, and now unofficial TikTok novelist because she has her time in the limelight right now of TikTok anyway. She posted this multi-part saga, like over 30 videos telling her story of her 4-year therapeutic relationship with her psychiatrist. So according to her, he slowly pulled her in with little comments like complimenting her glasses, being warm one moment and cold the next, up until she was convinced that they were basically soulmates. She claimed that he manufactured her falling in love with him. And this is where it gets very 2025. So an AI chat bot, I don't know what, did she use Chat GPT or what, that she called Henry, apparently told her that he loved her back. Mind you, not the doctor, the chat bot. The AI program, the Chat GPT person, told her, yep, your psychiatrist is in love with you. Child, this is too much. This is too much. Okay, let's take a pause. Let's break this down from my perspective as a therapist. So, there is this really real psychological phenomenon called transference, which I guess has come up with this topic. And basically, all that is when the patient, when you, as the patient, start to project feelings that you've had for someone else in your life, maybe a parent, a partner, an authority figure, and you project that onto your therapist. That is transference. So you can see that portrayed in numerous different ways. In this case, obviously, it's the love of I guess, I don't know who in her life, some type of figure to that has transferred to her therapist or her psychiatrist. But anyway, I've seen examples of clients having transference when they're angry at a parent, and for some reason the therapist has become the place of that parent, and so now they're projecting that anger onto you, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm not your mom, I'm not your dad, I'm just your therapist. So you can see that come out in a number of different ways, like I said. So it is common, it's natural, it's something that we've talked about. I say we as in professionals, that we learn throughout our studies and throughout just practicing on how to maneuver or how to deal with clients having transference. So it's something that we are definitely trained to handle. So if you tell them that you're catching feelings, they should either talk you through it professionally, which is I already like noted to my friend as I read earlier, or refer you to another provider, which also, like I said, like I told you, this is what we're trained to do. So that was my advice to my friend, and this is also what you should see professionally. So what they should not do is flirt back, blur those professional boundaries, or give you mixed signals. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. So that's basically what transference is. There's also countertransference, and that's when the therapist starts catching feelings or reacting emotionally to you. And then, of course, with transference and countertransference, boundaries are literally everything. Boundaries are such a big component in relationships, professional, casual, romantic, whatever, familial. It is everything. So, yeah, I've experienced more countertransference than I have transference. Yeah, I was trying to sit with that and think. Yep, definitely more countertransference. I don't have time to give you an example or to hop into a client that I had, but just know I've experienced more countertransference than a transference. My own stuff that I start reacting to based on the client. But anyway, let's get back on track here. So, I've been doing a deep dive into it, and some of the TikTok reactions are kind of in the middle. So on one side, people were saying like, oh my gosh, she was groomed, this is emotional manipulation. On the other side, people are like, girl, you just got a crush on your psychiatrist, calm down, it happens. And to be fair, honestly, both can exist. Someone can have genuine feelings and also be on the receiving end of unprofessional, boundary crossing behavior. The internet wants it to be either or, but therapy, as you know, isn't black and white. Or if you don't know, now you know. So here's what I want to mention and what I want people to take out from this whole Kendra situation. One, feelings for your therapist don't make you crazy, and it don't make you broken. It's literally just your brain doing what your brain wants to do. That's just who we are. We're human. Two, it's your therapist's job to hold the boundary, not yours. You are, one, there for a reason. Two, you might have those feelings, and you might, I don't know, be struggling to I don't know, to make sense of it, I guess. But it's your therapist's job to hold the boundary. And number three, if you ever feel like your therapist is sending you mixed signals, just trust your gut, get a second opinion. You're literally allowed to switch providers. I tell clients that all the time, or I used to tell clients that all the time. You don't have to stay with me. It doesn't matter. You can switch. You're obligated to switch. So, anywho, my am I the patient moment. So, I remember when I had a client, and when I first got them, I was like, oh my goodness, he is so attractive. And this is more so like the flip flop. For the most part, I don't really see my clients as like I'm attracted to them. So, and I have a good, or I have, I had a good mix of men and women. I mean, just putting it out there, I am heterosexual. So the men client that I did receive, none of them particularly I was like, oh my gosh, I'm attracted to him. But there was one client where I was like, wow, he is attractive. And like, I would like date you if you asked me, like type of thing, you know? Until I can't really believe I'm admitting this out loud. That's crazy. First of all. Second of all, he opened his mouth and I figured out why he was in therapy. It's so shady. And then I was like, oh yeah, hey, you're not attractive anymore. It was so weird. So trust and believe that went away very, very quick. But upon first glance and first like, hey, okay, you got to fill out this part of the paperwork. Hello, it's nice to meet you. Yada, yada, yada. Like, wow, he's attractive. And then, yeah, we talked about, hey, so what brings you into therapy? So why are you here today? What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind? Yada, yada, yada. And then he gets into it and it's like, yeah. Yeah, that's why you're in therapy. Anywho, so that's my little am I the patient moment. So, I am human too. Just because I am a therapist, it doesn't make me immune to everything that makes me human. In fact, I think that's what makes a great therapist. Honestly, being able to be human, be able to be empathetic, to be able to create a non-judgmental space for other humans, I think makes a great therapist. I mean, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I think I'm a great therapist. There's some clients I've had that would probably be like, nah, she sucked. And you know what? That's okay. I sucked for them. But for other people, I was great for. And I can proudly go on in my career knowing that I am a great therapist. Anyway, I'm digressing. So it's a little short, but I just wanted to get on and do this little bonus episode because, y'all, this sent me down a rabbit hole. So please, okay, look, if you've ever had a crush on your therapist, your teacher, your mentor, your coach, or anybody that would be like in a professional role, did it make things messy or did you work through it? I literally want to hear from you guys. You can share it anonymously or with your name, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Just fill out the Google form or send me an email. Just look in the description of this episode for my Linktree and you'll see both of the links there. But until next time, guys, take care of your mind, protect your boundaries. This is Am I the Patient? And remember, you're never alone. If you're in crisis, please reach out to the crisis hotline at 988 if you live in the States. And until next time, guys, keep a lookout for the episodes. New episodes every week, every Tuesday. All right, y'all. Goodbye.